Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm just taking it all in looking at y'all. This is wonderful. It's so good to be here. I can't tell if you're smiling or angry right now, but I'm going to make the assumption that we're all very happy to be in our sanctuary and so excited to have this class leading our first family service in like 2 years, it feels like. Close to it, at least. Well done. We're very excited about this evening's service. And so, with that, behold how good and how pleasant it is that we are together as one congregational family, finally in our sanctuary. And those of you joining us online, we welcome you as well. Hine Matov.
Hine Matov, Umana'im Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. 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 How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov, Umana'im Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umana'im Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine Matov, Umana'im Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov, Umana'im Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
We continue the lighting of the Shabbat candles on pages 120, 121. I'd like to call upon the Morah, the teacher of Shomrim, Lynn Offenhartz.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
And now that we've welcomed Shabbat, I invite you to welcome the person next to you. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom. Maybe wave at someone who you don't know. Wish them a Shabbat Shalom.
See if the guitar comes through.
I'll talk about that. Let me just do one thing.
Just seeing if it was coming through. I can't tell.
It was, wasn't it? Double
Maybe.
check. Give me a G. If not, I'll buy you a new one. So we're going to continue now with Lecha Dodi on page 138. Now, when I say 138, if you have two pagination systems, we're using the blue bracketed page numbers. If you only have one page number system, you don't have to worry about it. But if you have two, it's blue bracketed. 138, we continue with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom umevorach. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom umevorach. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla, Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, B'nei Shabbat, Nekabla.
V'yitgadash Shmei Rabbah Ve'amadi Rachirutei Ve'amlik Malchutei V'chayehon Yomechon Uvchaye Dechol Beit Yisrael Bagala Uvizman Kariv Ve'imeru Amen Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'alam Ulam Me'amaya Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yihar V'yiromam V'yitnaseh V'yitadar V'yitalel Shmei Dekudesha B'richu Le'elam Min Kol Mirchata V'shirata Tushbechata V'nechemata Damilim B'alma Ve'imeru Amen.
Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest routine set my race.
Rise and turn to page 146 for our call to worship for Baruch Hu.
Please turn to page 148. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, uvitvuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakohavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzano. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipne choshech, v'choshech mipne or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, umavdil ben yom uven layla, Adonai Tzevaot Shmo. El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid Yimloch Aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Arvim.
This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Haravim.
Please turn to page 150. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot Hukim u'mishpatim Otanu Limadata Al Kain Adonai Eloheinu B'shok Beinu Uvhumenu Nasiach Behukecha V'nizma b'divrei Toratacha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki hem hayenu v'orech yomenu uvahem negeh yomam v'layla. V'achavatcha al tasir mimenu la'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. As you taught Torah to whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean to struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery.
Advice to take a deep breath in, exhaling out. Another deep cleansing breath in. Again, exhaling out.
Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. And we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Please be seated.
Please turn to page 154 and join with me. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol avavcham uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlech vaderech uvshoch becha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha uktavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tiskeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeti ethem me'eretz Mitzrayim lihiot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions with which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you stay at home and when you're away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God.
Please read responsively on page 157. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say Adonai. There is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way.
Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces.
Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages the vision of a world redeemed.
Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Good job.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nidar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, ose fele, malchu, chara vanecha, bukei yam, lifnei, Moshe, umiram, za eli, anu, ve'amru, Adonai himloch le'olam va'ed, ve'nemar kifara Adonai et Yaakov, alo miyad kazak mimenu baruch atah Adonai gal Israel. Who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped? Who is like you, majestic in holiness, awesome in splendor, working wonders? The children witnessed your sovereignty, the sea splitting before Moses and Miriam. This is our God, they cried, Adonai will reign forever and ever. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeem Israel. Baruch atah Adonai gal Israel.
Amen.
Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, hapariz suchat shalom aleinu, va'al kol amo Yisrael va'al Yerushalayim.
Please turn to page 162. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et Ashabat la'asot et Ashabat ledorotam b'ri olam beini uvein b'nei Yisrael ot I leolam ki sheshit yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat through the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all times between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the 7th day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat la'asot et HaShabbat ledorotam b'rit olam.
We continue now with the central portion of our worship with our tefillah on pages 164 and following. Please rise if you're able, either physically or in spirit.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avoteinu be'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, ילדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם למען שמו באהבה מלך עוזר ומשיח ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם מחוקל חיים בחסד מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים סומך נופלים ורופא הולים ומתיר אסורים ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר מכמוך בעל גבורות ומידו מלך מתמיד ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לך ארוד הכל ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Please turn to page 171. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see, wherever we gaze, that the bush burns unconsumed. And we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated.
Please turn to page 173. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who hurt find healing on this. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day, and may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat.
You are with us in our prayer, our love, and our doubt, in our longing to feel your presence and do your will. You are the still clear voice within us. Therefore, O God, when doubt troubles us, when anxiety makes us tremble, when pain clouds the mind, we look inward for the answer to our prayers. There may we find you, and there find courage, insight, and endurance, and let our worship bring us closer to one another, that Israel and all who seek you may find you strength for your service. Baruch atah Adonai, she'eltecha lava'archa bi'ira na'avod.
Please turn to page 177. Please turn to page 177. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of soul, our light within, for the world around us, so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth, which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ucha ne lehodot.
Please turn to page 178. Shalom Lav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech odam l'chol hashalom. V'tov be'enecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. Bechol et uvchol sha'a bishlomecha. Baruch atah Adonai hamarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
Turn to page 179. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and give us the will to proclaim its message to all the peoples of earth. Bless our country as a safeguard of peace, its advocate among the nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and fellowship among all the inhabitants of every land. Plant virtue in every soul, and may the love of your name hallow every home and every heart. Praised are you, Eternal One, who blesses our people with peace. Baruch atah hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atah hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov beinecha levarech et amcha Yisrael. Bechol eit ubechol shah bishlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Baruch atah Adonai hamevarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom.
Well done, class. Well done. Again, well done, class. That was really well done. I'm very, very impressed. Not surprised, but impressed. So I'm sure you're all aware that this week's Torah portion is Toldot, right? You knew that, of course. And it features, of course, Esau and Jacob, who are brothers. And there's actually this very interesting episode where Jacob makes one of your favorite dishes of all time, lentil stew. It's fabulous. And it's good for you, full of fiber and very healthy, protein and such. So he's making lentil stew. And Esau comes in from the field and he's really hungry. And he smells that soup. He goes, all right, I'm hungry. And Jacob, you think Jacob would just feed his brother, right? No, not so much. No. What Jacob does is he says, well, if you want to eat, you have to give me your birthright. And Esau, let's just say Esau, according to our tradition, was not the brightest fellow. And he goes, okay, sure. And there you have it. So it's interesting that he was thinking only of his immediate need. I'm hungry, I got to eat now. Not thinking of the long term, what the birthright would mean. Which actually later on, his brother will end up getting the birth blessing as well as having already this birthright, which means he has to continue the family business. Esau's out of the family business. So not a good not a good deal for Esau. But I think it's a really important moment for us. Why? Because if you think about it, when we move really quickly through something to get to the end result just to please ourselves, we often aren't doing what's best for us. But so too, if we wait forever, that also may not be good. So if you think about it, I think this portion is all about balance. It's about balance, right? Knowing when we really want to achieve something quickly, that's great. Like, I'm sure none of you procrastinate at school, for example, or at work or anything like that, where we would wait till the last minute to do something. Because we know that's not going to be our best work. Although my mother always told me, Dana, you do very well last minute. I got pretty good at it in school. And then I decided in college I was done with that behavior. I got tired of cramming at the end. I decided that it was really about trying to achieve that balance of wanting to learn the material and also doing well on the exam, right? And I think that's really what this portion tells us, that we focus only on the present and not think about the future, we're out of balance. If we only think about the future and not now and not be present, we're out of balance. So this portion is asking us to simultaneously think about our future while also being incredibly present in the moment. We now pause for silent reflection.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך יהיו לרצון אמרי פי והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי Adonai Tzuri v'goali Adonai Tzuri Adonai Tzuri v'goali Yehiyu leratzon imrei fi v'hegyon libi lefanecha Yehiyu leratzon imrei fi והגיון ליבי לפניך אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי אדוני צורי אדוני צורי וגואלי
We now focus our energies toward those who are ill and in need of healing. That healing may be a physical one, a spiritual one, or a mental one. On this Shabbat, we think of Sandra Adams, Sally Mendez, Chana Bat Miriam, Eliana Bat Chana, Ivan Aronson, Bob Bell, Robert Berg, Dr. Arnold Berliner, Sandy Beinstock, W.L. Bradley, Barry Brown, Brenda Boucher, Rich Burns, Esther Burton, Dr. Ed Kahn, Chu Chi, Sandra Cohen, Bunny Fisher, Joan Fox, Carolyn Franklin, Barbara Friedman, Holly Fugit, Marcia Gieser, Marina Gaffney, Sharon Jenkin, Mandy Gillis, Harry Glaze, Charlene Griffin, Ted Guglin, Linda Harris, Dr. Gary Height, Jesse Jessen, Jenny Johnson, Mimi Jones, Melissa Katz, Evelyn Katz-McCosker, Liatzvia Batliba Ve'elchanan, Shirley Lerner, Carol Lesage, Litia Leos, Bobby Lotman, Austin Lucero, Janice Lucero, Karen Mack, Sid Melbourne, Neil Mendel, Barry Miller, Vivian Cooper Moore, Gunther Myberg, Brad Parkins, Gabrielle Pollock, Stephanie Rasmussen, David Rice, Carol Ross, Linda Rogers, Dolores Sams Hoy, Rochelle Safe, Gary Sanders, Laura Sanders, Malachi Sarensen, Donna Shine, Donna Thyman, Pham Tai Trang, Gina Thrower, Teresa Walsh, Jeannie Watson, Nancy Weisenfeld, Sue Witten, Sherman Wong, Brandon Yarkin, Madison Zales, and everyone who's suffering from coronavirus. If you wish to add another name to our healing list, I invite you to raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you. We wish upon all those you mentioned and those remain unnamed, refuah shlema, a speedy and complete recovery, as we join together in Misha Berach. All right, any November birthdays? Well, if you have a November birthday, come up on these steps. November birthdays. Yeah. Uh-huh. February birthdays. Not a lot of February birthdays, huh? But some very important people on February. Absolutely. Right here on the steps. Come right here on the steps. Look at that. Generational. I like this. I like this. Very nice. Excellent. Excellent. Bet you all missed a birthday pencil during this past year, haven't you? Yeah. I haven't heard any comment. I thought all of you would say, wait, well, we all are owed several of them. You actually are, but it's very heavy. Yeah, it's very heavy. Yeah. We have to unload some pencils this year at Phil. So may you all live to 120 years in good health, happiness, and lots of love in your life. And of course, we need to sing happy birthday to them. So let's do it. Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach. Happy birthday to you, cha-cha-cha. Happy birthday to you, cha-cha-cha. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. And of course, what are they going to get today, everyone? They're going to get their hallelujah, birthday pencils. Pick a good color now.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Sherry Wiesner, and on behalf of Temple Emanu-El's Board of Trustees, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our first Erev Shabbat family service of the season, led by our Shomrim 6th and 7th graders. Good job, guys. This Saturday night, don't forget to fall back and move your clocks back 1 hour. You know that means Sunday school starts an hour later. Sunday morning, our bi-weekly Musar Torah Studies class takes place at 10 a.m. on Zoom. Also on Sunday at 5 p.m., be inspired to take climate action as our Dayenu Circle chapter hosts the Washington director, Dalia Rockowitz. A Dayenu Circle is a way for Jews to work together to advance national climate policy while also working locally within the community. On Tuesday, join the rabbi's weekly chat at noon. Then on Wednesday, join him for lunch and learn. For now on Zoom, do let us know when you're ready to come in person, and we'll add an in-person option to the Zoom. On Thursday, join Rabbi and Phil for their monthly TV film discussion, this time on the Netflix film Operation Finale. Hope to see you here next Friday for our in-person Erev Shabbat service. Did you know that you could welcome Shabbat with fresh challah from Irving's delivered to Temple Emanu-El on Fridays? Simply fill out the online order form by Wednesday at 5 p.m. and pick up in the office by 3 p.m. on Friday. Today is Rosh Chodesh Kislev, and when the new month of Kislev comes around, it means Hanukkah is coming. Hanukkah is early this year, so mark your calendars for latkes and laughs on December 5th. Registration for all these events can be found on the Temple website. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom and Rosh Chodesh Tov.
Although Hanukkah always is the same time each year, it does feel early this year because it's always on time, that's right. Because in the Gregorian calendar, I think it's the Sunday of Thanksgiving, so it's Thanksgiving-aka, which many of us like when our families get together, so I think that's kind of cool. Although I like the confluence of Christmas and Hanukkah cantor myself. I like when the holiday of lights. Christmas-aka, there you go, very nice. I like that. All right, well, let's continue, I think, with Aleinu, page 586. Please rise if you're able, either physically or in spirit. 586.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגופי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו echad.
As we now come to the moment in our service when we think about members of our family and our community who have died recently or in years past, upon hearing the name of your loved one, I invite you to stand if you choose to as a sign of love and grief for that person, and to remain standing until all the names in our yahrzeit list have been recited. Then together we'll all rise. On this Shabbat, we are mindful of those that are grieving the Shiva, the first week of mourning for someone very close to my personal family, Len Pomerantz. We also think of those that are grieving the Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning for Richard Gersten, Laura Zipper, Colin Powell, Carol Everett, Jane Sargent. We also think of those that are grieving the Shana, the first year of mourning for Leon Averick, Robert Baker, Pauline Anderson Berkowitz, Carol Bitter, Hy Birdman, Phyllis Birdman, Mary Cage, Roy Robert Creech, Alexander Cunningham, Bill Davenport, Norman Deshotsky, Alan Garshon, Lubov Katsis, Charles Green, Phil Hammer, Judy Fisher Harrington, Selma Karcham, Janet Katz, Kevin Krieger, Hal Lax, Father Bill Leninger, Marion Suni Levin, Michael Meltzer, Manny Migdal, Roberta Stivelman Newman, Patricia Orozco, Richard Peterson, Arlene Ravel, David Reiser, Steve Reese, Stanley Rosen, Steve Rosenthal, Lois Rosette, Betty Rossman, Rosalind Schwartz, Boris Supak, Marilyn Siller, Kit Snyder, Gunther Vogler, Marty Weisblatt, Henry Wild Sr., Florence Winnig, Millie Wolfson. We also think of the following yard sites that we observe on this Shabbat as we think of Andrew O. Apt, Hannah Baer, Elmer A. Barron, Altina Behar, Lottie Bloom, Anna Boxer, Felix Costa, Susan Costa, Sam Farber, John Fernandez Sr., Hannah Fox, Matt Gans, Ralph Norman Goldine, William Grant, Ruth Grayson, Max Hafner, Charles Jacobs, John Chiorani, Cecilia Coves, Virginia B. Langen, Anna Lipowski, Nettie Leiter, Lori LeMay, Max Mordechai Levin, Samuel Luan, Norman Lieberman, Lillian Malin, Lena Mapkonar, Leonard Neymark, Harry Pollock, Joan Poor, Edith Port, Francis K. Powell, Rose Richards, Leo Rinsler, Edith Ross, Mavish Sahim, Belle Schnee, Albert Senegagalia, Joseph Sherman, Bernard Siegler, Helen Slater, Solomon Sokol, Joel Strauss, Christina Sweely, Alex Teller, Richard Wolf, Mitchell Wolfson, Ann Wolfson, Ruth Warren. Zichronam livracha, may all the memories of our loved ones endure as a blessing as we now all rise, turning to page 598 to recite together our mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei rabba, be'amad divrach chirutei ve'amlich malachutei, b'chayachon v'yomechon uv'chayei dechol be'Yisrael, b'agalav uzman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam olamei alamaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitchomam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha b'rechu, le'olam inkol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'elma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlomo rabba mishamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'akol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'akol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to those who are bereaved among us, wherever they may be, as we say together, amen. Please be seated.
Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam.
So now invite all of our students to go to their parents. So everyone should be with their parent and or grandparent of any age. And if you have a daughter, I invite you to lay your hands upon your daughter and repeat after me. Yasimech Elohim Kesara Rivka Rachel Veleah. May God inspire you to live in the tradition of Sarah and Rebecca, Rachel and Leah, who carried forward the life of our people. I love seeing the multi-generation. That's really cool. And now if you have a son, I invite you to lay your hands upon your son and repeat after me. Yisimcha Elohim Ke'Ephraim V'chi Menashe. May God inspire you to live in the tradition of Ephraim and Manasseh, who carried forward the life of our people. And now, children, lay your hands upon your parents and repeat after me, I love you. Hugs and kisses, Shabbat Shalom. Where are we doing Oneg, do you know?
We're doing Kiddush and Moshe.
Well, where? Right there?
I think the Temple House.
I think it's right here.
Oh, let me go to the lobby, and if there's nothing there, go to the Temple House.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We'll see you in the lobby. Yes, we'll see you in the lobby. They're like all stunned. What do I do? All right, good job.